Hey guys, Brook here. I wanted to do a video about some of the issues and some of the concerns that I've had in the realm of Christian dating and relationships, and some of the things that I've heard and experienced out there in some of my travels. Now, the first thing I want to address is that the church seems to be pushing out this narrative about the one, or what I call the cult of oneism. And it gives the idea that, out there in the world, there is only this one person that you're destined to be with. And, as many of these great preachers have given these kinds of testimonies that, maybe he spun around and he saw his, future wife, and the heavens opened, the trumpet sounded, and the angels dressed her in white, and he knew instantly that she was the one. In all of the conversations I've had with multiple married Christian couples, that kind of thing is a rarity. That generally does not happen, and that is not the norm. And by trying to esteem that as some kind of doctrinal expectation, we are setting up a lot of people for just complete disappointment. The vast majority of Christian married couples that I've had the dealings with all said it took work. It took them actually going out there, meeting people, having failed relationships, maturing as individuals until some point they met somebody who was compatible with their attitude and life goals until they finally settle down. So while it is great if you get the booming voice and some kind of inclination that this is the one, please understand that that is a rare case. It doesn't usually happen like that. I mean, I've heard of married couples that got married after affairs. I've heard married couples that have met on Tinder, on eHarmony. There is no right way. And if you're holding out for God to speak in this particular area, I'm afraid you may be disappointed and you might want to try something different. The second big beef that I have is the church is completely focused in many of these single conferences and the attempts at matchmaking. They teach people to focus on entirely the wrong set of attributes when it comes to actually picking somebody to be your potential spouse. The church is completely obsessed with Christian discipline. So in choosing a spouse, or whatever the case might be, that person has to be in the Bible every day. They've got to be given to fasting. They need to be serving in the ministry. They need to be a tither, given over to prophecy and healing and raising the dead, and spend time in Africa, or whatever the case might be. And the truth of the matter is that many times, if that's all you're focusing on, you're actually not getting the time to know what the person is really like. What is their character and what is their attitude? I have heard countless horror stories of people who have married these tremendous disciplined Christians, and only to find out that behind the scenes they're emotionally broken. Many times they've had mental issues. Some of them have even been abusive. And these are people that are going out there and performing great miracles, and they have all the attributes to be a fantastic minister or pastor, but those traits do not necessarily translate into a good husband or wife, as the case might be. In fact, many of these people, because of some of them have mental issues and they're unstable, they gravitate towards Christianity and they give themselves wholly over to serving in the church because that is a fantastic environment to hide many of the issues that they're dealing with. So instead of telling people to focus on the person's character, how do they deal with rejection, what is their relationship to their family and their friends, and getting to really know this person as an individual, the church is fixated on all of these external attributes that many times do not translate into a healthy person to be with as a spouse. The third issue has a lot to do with a lot of the unrealistic expectations that the church puts especially upon young people. So in teaching people about, this idea that there's the one that is out there, telling them to focus completely on being like the most disciplined of Christians, and not allowing people to actually learn to cultivate intersexual dynamics and interpersonal relationship skills. These people, when they finally do encounter somebody who potentially could be their spouse, emotionally they are stunted in terms of how they expect the relationships to go forward. And that in itself can create a whole host of problems. So even though they might finally meet somebody they themselves have not taken the steps to grow as an individual and to mature and to be able to handle the conflicts and the ups and downs of a relationship, and they basically end up missing out on the opportunity because they never took the time to develop that area of their life when they were younger. So again, guys, I have written extensively about this topic. I would put links to many of those articles below. Again, you know, as I say, there are other issues, but these are the three big ones that I've seen, and it's just made dating Christian women quite a chore at this point. But nonetheless, you know, I hope this is helpful to you guys. Maybe I'll meet you up out there. You could share some of your stories. Leave a comment below. We could have a good discussion. So again, guys, thanks again for watching. God bless you all. Bye-bye.